Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, flappers! You guys are looking good. You've been working out? You have the P90X? I've never seen you guys look this good before. I'm just saying. Pander to audience. Check. So I've recently come to this realization that people hate my face. This has been true my whole life, and there's been signs all along, but I never realized it until just recently. Ever since I can remember back, like up to, I don't know, maybe 10 years old, I'll be waiting around for something, meeting somebody or a bus or whatever, and somebody will walk up and they'll say, "Oh, hey man, what's the matter? What's wrong?" Complete stranger. And I'm like, "Nothing's wrong, I'm fine." Like, no, I can tell you're not fine, you're not smiling. This happens a lot. I'm like, well, complete stranger, you know, if I'm happy, I make a smiley face. I'm like, "Oh, all right," and if there's something sad going on, I make a frowny face. And if there's nothing going on, I just make my regular face. And they're always like, "What? No, man, I can tell there's something wrong with you." And I'm like, the only thing that's wrong with me is that you are telling me you hate my face. This is hard to swallow. It hurts my feelings, to be honest with you. Jeez. So I recently decided I'm going to get a dog. And not wanting to support the puppy mills, and also not wanting to spend $900 on a dog, I thought, where do I go to get the best deals? Craigslist. The problem with Craigslist is that if you get a really good deal on a couch, it's probably a damaged couch. The same goes for dogs. I got this abomination that is half pit bull, half Dalmatian. Some wizard decided to breed a creature that is known for high energy and neuroticism with another creature who has been bred through time for the sole purpose of biting really hard. But he's super handsome, so anytime I take him out walking, people always want to pet him. They always come up like, "Oh my God, can I pet your dog?" And I'm like, "Well, you can, but he bites." This blows people's minds. Like, "What do you mean he bites?" And I'm like, "Well, he had a rough life. He was abused before I got him, and I'm working with him. But sometimes he gets nervous and he bites." And they're always like, "Oh, that's so sad. Don't worry about it, bro. Don't worry about it. I got a thing with dogs." Is that what happened? Like, I got a thing with dogs. No, he's not going to get me. Meanwhile, the dog is like snarling, losing his mind, trying to bite his own chain off. And the idiots try and pet him anyway. They're like, It's like, he bit me. And I'm like, yeah, I know. He bites. That's his thing. When he gets nervous, he bites. He doesn't even care what it is. Humans, furniture, himself, he doesn't care. Dog's an idiot. People just bite and bite and bite. And have you ever seen a dog with a conscience? Anybody? I've never heard of it either. This dog has a conscience. He knows the rules. And when he breaks them, I'll come in the room and he's already got his head hung down low and he's slinking around and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I already know for a fact he's done something wrong. I just take a quick look around, see like, "Oh look, there's food missing off the counter." And I go to yell at him. You think my big tough pit bull puffs up and acts tough? No, he rolls over on his back and starts making this pee arc up towards the ceiling. Like I'm a dad in some sort of a sitcom trying to change his son for the first time. And I can't yell at him, because if I do, he gets more scared and pees more. So the only thing I can do is wait for him A, to run out of pee, which will never happen, or B, like I can get over it and I gotta be like firm but calm, and be like, "Bob, please stop," and then I'll take and I'll shut his leg, because generally he doesn't like to pee on himself. But if he's scared enough, he'll do it anyway. He just keeps peeing. I'm just like, "Ugh, stop it!" And then also recently, he's got some sort of an allergy. He's always like biting and scratching at himself, and he was like kind of wearing off the fur. I'm like, "Oh, this is not good." So I took him to the vet, and the vet goes, "Well, he's just got allergies. We can do one of two things. One, you can start feeding him hypoallergenic food, which costs $60 a month." And I'm like, maybe not that one. And he's like, "Or the more cheaper option," like, I'm listening, "I'll give you this jar of vitamins for $10. It'll last 6 weeks." And I was like, "Bingo! We got one." He's like, "Yeah, I know. It was a Craigslist dog. I could tell." So I get these vitamins home. I take them out. They are huge. They are this big. And they taste terrible. I assume. I didn't taste it. But they smell awful. The dog doesn't want to eat these, understandably. So what I got to do is I got to pin him down, pry his mouth open like I'm some type of a lion tamer. Holding his mouth open, I take my other 2 fingers with the vitamin and I jam it in his throat hole. Now Bob won't bite me, but he will use his tongue like a hockey goalie. He's just like, "Ah, ah, ah, ah." just defending his throat. I'll have to use the triple deke from the old Mighty Ducks movie, try and fake him out and jam it in there. And then I gotta slam his snout shut and wait until he swallows it, because if I don't, he'll just go blech, and spit it out. Now I got a sticky pill that I gotta try and get down, which doesn't work either. So, on that note, I will sell Bob to anyone in this room for a burrito. So if anybody in here has ever wanted a Pitmation that goes by the name of Bob Barker, and you have an extra burrito, today is your lucky day. Just kidding, I love Bob. He's not for sale for a burrito. Maybe a Volvo, definitely not a burrito. But I've decided Bob needs now, because he needs a good influence. He just needs like a bigger dog that's like, you know, he wasn't mistreated as a young dog and is just like really well trained. And I'm thinking if I get like a German Shepherd named Gunther. So anytime, like if Bob gets up on my car, he likes to get up there because it's warm and he can see far, then Gunther can come running over and just be like, Nein! We do not get on the cars, Vomit. Or maybe a Siberian Husky named Vlad. Just be like, hey buddy, get off the couch or I kill you. But the absolute best one I've come up with is a giant Irish wolfhound named Mickey. He'd just be like, hey Lassie, you get on the kitchen counter again, I'm gonna put you to sleep like a little baby. So if anybody here has a big dog who's really well behaved and a racial stereotype of some sort, and is willing to trade him for a burrito, come see Nikk-Danger after the show, because I am looking to make a deal. So when I first got Bob, I made the mistake that every pet owner in this room has made. I went to PetSmart, or I like to call it Gouge Central. Here's the company model. They like to take an everyday household item, slap a tag on it with a little picture of a dog, and then triple the price. And we pay it, because we're like, oh, it's a pet supply, this is how much things cost. When I first went in there, I got a cart, I'm going through the aisles, and I'm like, oh, look, there's a dog dish, I'll need one of those, and put it in the thing. I get halfway down the aisle, and all of a sudden, I get this note from my brain's like, hey, Danger. I'm like, yes, brain? She goes, well, what'd you just put in the cart there? I was like, oh, it's a dog dish, brain, you know, we got a dog, we gotta get a dog dish. She's like, no, more specifically, you just put a $20 bowl in the cart. Do you eat out of a $20 bowl? No, brain. Put the bowl back. So I did. Get around the corner. I'm like, ah, leash is perfect. Pick up a leash. I don't get it in the cart before my brain yells at me again. It's like, hey, Danger. What you're holding in your hand a $25 4-foot piece of rope. What do you think you should do with it? My brain is really mean and condescending to me. I'm like, all right, good point, brain. So I put it back. And so then I'm starting to leave PetSmart. Because I'm gonna impress my brain. I'm like, all right, brain, I got this handled. We're just gonna get out of here because we hate this place. And as I'm leaving, my brain's like, whoa, they will sell you a 60-pound bag of dog food for $17 here. It's the Old Yeller brand, and yes, I am aware of the irony. But it's 60 pounds for $17. It's awesome. So it's like, you got to stay and get this. The problem with buying food at PetSmart is there's a little guy there who they set up to try and make you feel guilty about buying cheap food so that you buy the expensive food. Like he comes up, he's like, hey bro, hey, do you love your dog? I love my dog too. I can tell you're like a dog lover. You don't want to feed him that, man. It's bad stuff, it's full of snails and such. You got to get this other kind of food over here. It's really good for the dogs. And I'm like, look man, don't make me feel bad about feeding my dog this food. This dog is a garbage dog. If I didn't have a special trash can with a lid on top of it, he would be at home ankle deep in garbage right now. He doesn't need $60 food. This bag of Old Yeller dog food will do just fine. So I just really want to punch this kid in the face. He's sitting there just like trying to make me feel bad. Which leads me to the last part of my show, my partial, because we don't have a long time, list of people I would like to punch in the face. All right, number one is the original guy who invented the phrase, hey man, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy who wears the shirt at the concert of the band that you're going to see. Don't be that guy, man. Why? Why would you not wear the shirt of the band you're going to see? Where else am I going to wear my Poison Live as Hell t-shirt? I'm not saving it for a job audition. It's for the Poison concert. When I go to the Metallica concert, I'm going to wear my Metallica shirt with skulls all over it. That's what these shirts are for. What, are you trying to impress the guy who thought of that? You know who that guy was? It's the guy who wrote PCU 20 years ago. A completely irrelevant movie. You trying to impress him? He's not at the concert. Wear whatever you want, and don't judge other people if they wear the shirt that they're going to see the band. So for that, if I ever see the PCU guy, I'm going to punch him in the face. 2, soccer. If soccer were a human being, I would punch it in the face. It is so boring. And as an American, like, it was just jammed down my throat like I'm a dog trying to take a pill. They're like, you have to respect other cultures like soccer. I'm like, I don't like soccer. It is so boring. I hate it. And they're like, oh, well, soccer is so boring. Why does every other country on the planet love it? I'm like, you're talking about third world countries that don't have anything else. Yes, compared to nothing, soccer's kind of fun. But if you had any other stimulus whatsoever, like say, oh, a coloring book, you would realize that soccer sucks. I hate it. I want to punch it in the face. I'm going to wrap this up with my favorite and most important group that needs to get punched in the face. Every girl on MTV's 16 and Pregnant. They're making the worst decisions on the planet, and via the title you can tell they're breeding. They're making more of these things. All of them have the same story when the show starts. They're like, yeah, I thought that when the baby came that Brian would change, but then he didn't. They're like, no way, that 17-year-old scumbag you met sniffing glue behind the woodshed, that guy didn't instantly grow into an adult just because you had a baby? What? No way! And I'm like, I'm just trying to build a family. I'm like, stop trying to build a family with teenagers. That doesn't work. That's stupid. It's like trying to build a car at Tootsie Rolls. You can't do it. It's just stupid. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is my set. My name is Nikk-Danger. You've been so good.